Wyatt Earp and the Devil Incarnate. If this ain't the way it was, it's the way it should have been. John Milius, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. Chapter 1. A Night at the Oriental. It was a Saturday night like any other at the Oriental. The saloon was packed, overflowing with drifters, gunmen, gamblers, and the dregs of society. Red played a ditty on the old piano, barely audible over the din of drunken patrons. The smells of cigar smoke, sex, and body odor filled the place, giving it the same generic odor found in any saloon on a busy night. Deputy Marshal Wyatt Earp was, as usual on such a night, holding court over the faro table. His older brother Virgil, the town marshal, was sitting to his right, down in his fair share free whiskey and smoking Wyatt's cigars. To Wyatt's left sat notorious sporting man and cold-blooded killer, Doc Holliday, Wyatt's only friend, smoking a cigar, downing glass after glass of high-end scotch, and making lewd remarks to anyone who might indulge him with a listen. "It's a hell of a night tonight, Wyatt," said Doc. "I don't like it." Doc grinned. "You don't like anything." "I got a bad feeling." Wyatt, being a lifelong lawman, was prone to such gut feelings, and they were seldom wrong. He almost always knew when trouble was about to jump off, seeming to somehow smell the tomfoolery in the air. And now his gut was telling him things could get ugly any minute. He scanned the room looking for potential problems. Doc was used to Wyatt's keen ability to sense such things, so he paid him no mind. Inebriated, he just kept on babbling about the superiority of a Georgia gentleman over just about any other man created by God. Watching a group of cowboys over Doc's shoulder, Wyatt engaged his friend. "Well, if you love Georgia so much, why don't you go back there?" Doc chuckled. "You know I can't go back there, Wyatt. I love the beautiful state of Georgia, but it turns out she does not share the same love for me." "Problems always seem to follow you everywhere you go," said Virgil. Doc raised his glass. "That does seem to be the unfortunate truth." Wyatt continued his inspection of the room, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. This time, once in a million, he didn't spot the trouble because it was directly behind him. But Doc saw it clearly. A little whiny troglodyte of a brute named Ike Clanton was putting his arms around Doc's traveling mate and companion, Kate Elder, and she wasn't enjoying it one bit. Ike's hand slid up to grab a handful of Kate's sizable bosom. She slapped him away, but still Ike persisted. Doc stood, staring at Ike. He poured himself another drink, downed it, and said, "If you'll excuse me, fellas, I have pressing business to attend to." And Doc started walking towards Ike. Virgil now saw what Doc had seen. "Oh, hell," he said. Wyatt spun around in his chair to get a look, now seeing Ike putting his hands on Kate. Doc approached Ike, but the damn fool didn't see him coming, as he was too busy fondling Kate. When Ike saw Kate looking at Doc, he turned around and found himself face to face with Doc's nickel-plated .41 caliber Colt Thunderer. Ike's eyes got big. "I don't believe we've had the pleasure of an introduction," said Doc. "My name is John Holliday." Ike said nothing. "And this woman you've been putting your grubby little paws all over is named Kate." "Oh, I didn't mean nothing," Ike said. "I was just fooling around, having a good time." Doc looked at Kate. "Then why doesn't she appear to be having a good time?" "I didn't do nothing wrong." "Where I'm from, a man doesn't grab a lady's breast without her consent," said Doc. "But she ain't no lady. She's a whore." Doc cocked the pistol. "That may well be the case, but she's my whore." Now members of Ike Clanton's gang were moving in to surround them. One of the men, a smart-ass cattle rustler named Curly Bill Brocious, drew his Colt .45 and put it to Doc's head. Thank you for listening to the retail sample of Six Guns Blazing by Andy Rausch. Check it out on Audible and iTunes.